A lot of crazy stuff today. So how many of you have, I'm not used to this. Okay, that means I have to stand still and it's not easy. Because, I mean, I like to move around, but, so this is about the body being a temple of spirit. How many of you have ever thought about that? Yeah. It's in the Bible, which surprised me. I think it's in Corinthians or something. Is it okay? I don't have to bend down to hear. You can hear me. Oh my goodness. Jeez. No, then I have to hold it. That's okay. There we go. And this, if it goes a little bit up, it won't fall over maybe. Anyway, the good. Okay. The body is yeah, the body is temple of spirit. It's in the Bible, I think in Corinthians something about um do you ye not know the body is a temple of spirit, something like that. But it's a beautiful way of thinking about our bodies, and these bodies are miraculous. I recently broke my wrist, and first time I've ever broken anything, and I'm still uh, working with it to get the muscles in the fingers, and the fingers are unswollen. But anyway, I was like, oh, we all know that the bones grow back together again. But it was like, I experienced it. It's like, this bone is growing back together again. This is astounding, you know? It really is. It really is. And that 90% of what goes on in our body is without our conscious input. We don't have to tell our breath to breathe. We don't have to tell our eyes to see and our heart to beat and all that stuff, you know? And just having a child is amazing. You know, I've had two sons, and I thought that was a miraculous thing to have a huge form, beautiful form baby, you know, in my body. So to think about it that way is really, it's just really special. And I think if we walk into a temple, if we think about it this way, if we walk into a temple, we feel reverence. Even here, you know, we feel a certain reverence and a certain respect and honor, and we need to have that for ourselves, for our bodies. I mean, it's one thing to think about our spirit, but our spirit is in the body. The body is full of who we are. Our body is a home that we will never leave until we pass over. You know, we're here, we're stuck here sometimes. Sometimes we're like, to get out. We go take a trip, you know, but we're still here. We can move, we're still here. So we have to, you know, honor us, all of us. So that's, I'm going to talk about all of us. I just wanted to quote a few things here. Walt Whitman, which surprised me, said, he made it clear when he wrote, if life and the soul are sacred, the human body is sacred. And then the woman who was a doctor said, and we need to realize the sanctity of our body temple and make it a priority to tend to it responsibly and respectfully. And then John O'Donohue, he was an Irish priest, no longer, but I think he's not here any longer. He's written some beautiful books, very poetic kind of thing. Anyway, he said, the human body is beautiful. It is a privilege to be alive. Your body is the only home that you have in the universe. It is in and through your body that your soul becomes visible and real for you. Your body is the home of your soul on earth. I wanted to share that with you. So what is in our body? All kinds of stuff, everything we are. And one of the things that I thought was kind of fun is we're a rainbow. There's a rainbow in our body. Has anybody ever thought about the chakra? The chakras, yeah, that's so fun. Most of us are familiar with the chakras pillar that goes down the spine, which is actually energetic. It isn't. You can't really see it, but it's a I don't know how to say it. It came from the East, Hindu and Buddhist disciplines, and now because yoga has been so popular in here in the West so long, we really are familiar with the chakras. And so the first chakra is at the base of your spine, and it's red, and it has to do with grounding and being in the world and being the earth. And the second one is orange, and it's about here on the spine, and it has to do with sexuality and creativity and emotions. And then the power center, which is yellow, is above the navel. And then there's the heart, which is the one we really need to be in more. And it's yellow, excuse me, green. And it has to do, of course, with love. And then there's the other aspects too of grief and unforgiveness and that kind of thing. And then there's the throat chakra, which is blue, and it's the communication. And then the third eye, the Christ consciousness is called as well, indigo. And this top crown chakra, the seventh one in our bodies, is a violet. So it's a whole rainbow. It's fun to think of that. And they're energetic, like I said. They spin in Sanskrit. Chakra means wheel, and they're the bridge between the body and the aura and the spiritual and the physical. And I've always known about them because I did yoga years ago, but I'm just now really getting in touch where I can almost feel I'm spinning them and that kind of thing. So it's kind of neat if you ever want to get into that, to do that. So.
I think that the spirit is called Kundalini.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is Naga, the cobra.
Right. So the other thing that we have in our bodies is the food we eat and the thoughts we think. That's kind of so, oh my goodness, food, yeah, it has a big thing here. I love that you read something about Deepak Chopra talking about the health and the nutrition and all that stuff. We all know how to eat healthy because it's everywhere, and so it's easy to do that and find the information, but we don't always do that. And of course, if you're on a special diet, like for your heart or diabetes or something that's different, then you have to really stay there. But I guess what I want to say is just be mindful of what it feels like. Listen to your body when you're eating certain things. Nutrition plays a role in not just our physical health, but our emotional health as well. And being aware of that is important. That how does that make me feel? Oh man, my tummy didn't feel quite right. Maybe I shouldn't eat that, or maybe I'm eating too much of something. I believe in moderation, but but you have to kind of listen. So it's mindful. It's being aware, and being aware of also the thoughts that create things in your body. The thoughts create emotions. By the way, I have to tell you this. I had an employer years ago ask me not to drink coffee because it was a retail situation, and I was good with people and I was good selling, but I would get irritable and impatient because it does affect your brain. Coffee does, and I'm really sensitive, and I'm sensitive to that. I don't even drink it anymore, but he asked me not to drink it, and so I didn't at work, but it was very addicting. And we do get addicted to stuff, we really do. So, and again, John O'Donohue, I just wanted to read you these quotes. He said, there is a wisdom in your physical bodily presence that is luminous and profound. Frequently, the illnesses that come to us as a result from our self-neglect and our failure to listen to the voice of our body. The inner voices of the body want to speak to us, to inform us of the truth beneath the fixed surface of our external life. The body is very truthful. You know from your own life that your body rarely lies. Your mind can deceive you and put all kinds of barriers between you and your nature, but your body does not lie. Each part of your body holds a memory of its own experience. And it's interesting because, again, the thing we have to do this, but the rest of it happens. We have to eat our food and chew it, and then it automatically gets digested. So that's pretty, it's amazing. I have to drink some water here. So the thing is, we want to keep the body clean. If this is a temple, we want to have it be clean and full of fresh air and beautiful and feel honored and reverent. We want to feel honored or that we're honoring and respecting it when we eat things. So that's a lot of what I'm seeing. And then the other things that we have in our body are our inner child, our inner children. We have lots of children in there. I don't know if any of you have ever done any inner child work. Have any of you done it? Yeah. Okay. Well, the main number one child is the divine child or the essence child. And that's the child that we were, that we came in as. We came in straight from source. We came straight from God. We were full of joy. We knew who we were. We were this little wonderful bundle of love and joy. And that is who we are. And I think that it's powerful to do inner child work. I've done a lot of it, and saved myself a lot of therapy, I think, because I could do a lot of stuff on my own. But anyway, it's kind of fun sometimes if you find a picture of yourself when you're little, because you can tune into that part of you. If you find a picture of yourself like before you're not a baby, but maybe between 1 and 4, or 1 and 2 usually. And if you look at that picture and tune in, you can see who you were. That happened to me kind of spontaneously one time when I was doing some inner child work, or I didn't even remember, maybe I wasn't, I don't know, but I found this picture of myself and I looked at that little girl and I was like, oh my God, that's me. My heart, my love, that was who I was. It was very powerful. And I, if you ever feel like doing that, it's a fun thing to do. And then there's the wounded children, there's a lot of them, different ages. I don't think any of us ever got out of childhood without a couple of little scars. If you didn't, then your parents are saints, because that's part of our learning process as souls, is our parents in life itself. But anyway, to just have compassion for that parts of ourselves. And it comes up as feelings. I want to read this to you. Whoops, that was music. The child in us holds the feelings, the emotions. This is from called Recovery of Your Inner Child. It's a book by Lucia Cappuccioni, and she does expressive arts work, and I was very drawn to her. Really good book if you ever want to read it. She says, how do we know our inner child is present? We have feelings. The inner child is the emotional self. It is where our feelings live. When you experience joy, sadness, anger, fear, or affection, your child is coming out. When you are truly feeling your feelings, you are allowing your inner child to be. Your child within is also active when you are being playful, spontaneous, creative, intuitive, and surrendering to your spiritual self. And I always thought it was interesting, and I loved it, that Christ said, become as little children. And what does that mean? I mean, we're already adults, some of us are elder adults. What does that mean? And it's that essence again, the emotions, the love, the honesty. I work with children and they're so honest, little ones. And the awe, and the wonderment that they have. Everything is so fresh and new. And again, the love. So just wanted to share that with you. And again, emotions. Okay, we have these emotions. We don't like them all the time. Sometimes they're not so good. We don't like to feel them, or we don't want to have them. But it's part of the whole embracing your whole self. It's part of loving your whole self, because to me the whole point, I don't know how to say this, but loving ourselves in a non-egoic way is really, really important, because we're here for certain experiences, and sometimes they throw us off, and we have these negative things that happen. A lot of times when we think negatively about what happened and we go off into worrying, it doesn't even exist, some of the things we worry about, as you already know. But that stress and so forth causes disease and causes stress in your body, and the stress can cause disease. So embracing the wounded part of us is part of loving yourself. And part of loving yourself is loving your whole self, not just your body, but your whole self, your emotions and all that, and being compassionate with that part of ourselves, those emotions. So there's a couple more things here. There's a man called Gary Zerkoff who's written some wonderful books. I don't know if you know who he is. He's written Heart of the Soul and Seed of the Soul. And in Heart of the Soul, he talks about emotions and the importance and the messages that they have for us. It's again being mindful, listening. If it feels not so good, go to inside yourself in meditation or whatever and go, what is this? What's this saying to me? And maybe you'll have an image of yourself as a child, and maybe something happened and the child it's up for you there. So talk to the child and love her or him and be compassionate. Anyway, Gary Zerkoff says, so what are emotions? Simply neurotransmitters, the energy that breathes passion and life into experience. Emotions are messages for you, a signal from your soul. They can be likened to your best friend, one who will never leave you. If you look at them as obstacles or something you would rather not have, you miss the point. Every emotion offers information about you that is important. If you ignore them, you ignore important information. They give us a gift of how we process energy. We have to listen. Your emotions are your best friend. They do not leave you. They continually bring to your attention what you need to know. The more important that information is to you, the more forcefully they call you. No counselor can give you that information. No teacher, parent, or priest can either. Your emotions are a song written only for you. Your job is to listen. That's a good, yeah, it's a good book. So, so, so all those things are in here in this temple that we want to honor. And then the last thing, the intuition and of course the Christ consciousness, God. I talked about the chakras in the spine. I studied with Paramahansa Yogananda for a while, who wrote Autobiography of a Yogi. He was considered an ascended master, and he always said God was in the spine. And I'm only now really understanding that, because I know God is in us everywhere, but to have a local place, it's just really, it's wonderful to think of that. So also we have intuition, and that's in here. And I found a quote from Einstein, which I was really surprised in some ways. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Because so many of us just we ignore our intuition, or we think it's not right, or what, I hear I have to do that, or should do this, or go there, or whatever, and we ignore it. But tune in, because wow, sometimes most of the time it's just right on. I realize that most of my life I've been intuitively guided, and when I look back, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm glad, because I'm more of an intuitive person and not so mental. But yeah, anyway, I've been very thankful that I have been, and I've listened for the most part. I'll say that again. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. And again, that was Einstein that said that. So yes, we have that, and we also have light within our body, and we have love within our bodies. And so again, loving our thinking of our body as a temple helps us hopefully love and have reverence and respect and honor for our total self. And I think that a lot of times we feel unworthy of the God that's within us, the Christ consciousness that's within us. We feel unworthy and undeserving. But the more we love, because we are being loved, you know that. You all know that. We're being so loved. And the more we realize that, yes, I'm being loved, I need to love myself more and let myself have my gifts, my talents, who I am, and the love of God. We can receive more. So I'd like to do a little bit of a kind of a guided imagery for you guys if you want to close your eyes before I end. So, and is Matt, did you want to play? Would you like to? Just real quiet. If you don't want to, that's all right. Maybe you want to do the meditation. Are you sure? Okay. So yeah, close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths. And just be aware that you're sitting here. Deep and breathe deeply and be aware of your feet on the floor. And now imagine that you're full of a beautiful golden white light. It's coming in the top of your head, flowing down from the top, from a window in the temple of your body, spirit. It's coming down, this beautiful golden white light, filling your entire body. Just breathe that in. Breathe in the golden white light. And breathe it in all the way down to your feet. And now start from your feet and start thanking your body for all it does in our feet. Our feet are the things we don't thank at all, hardly ever. We complain about them, but they do so much work for us. We're always up and down on our feet. So thank your feet. Thank your legs. Thank your internal organs in your stomach, in your abdomen. And filling them with the golden white light, allowing it to just penetrate all in your abdomen and your lower body, to all the organs that are in there, and then coming up to your chest and your lungs and your heart, filling it with the golden white light and thanking those organs and heart for all that it does, they do. And now up in your head, your eyes, your mouth, your nose, your brain, thanking it, honoring it in your arms, in your hands, thanking every part of your body for all it does and all it is. And I'd like to end with a Sufi song and dance, actually. And it's just a little blessing that I'd like to leave with you. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. And so it is. Amen.